Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the midline theorem. At the end of this video lesson, you should be able to prove and apply the midline theorem. So let's look at the definition of the midline theorem. The segment between the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half as long. So in this given figure, we have here triangle A, B, and C, wherein D is the midpoint of side AB. And at the same time, E is also the midpoint of side BC. So if we connect the two midpoints, we can form this segment DE. So ang sinasabi sa midline theorem, if D and E are the midpoints of AB and BC respectively as shown in the image, then this segment DE is parallel to the third side, which is side AC, and we can also say that DE is 1/2 the length of AC. So, very simple lang ang sinasabi sa midline theorem. Now, we are going to prove it. If indeed, number 1, DE is really parallel to AC, and number 2, DE is 1/2 long sa length ni AC. Okay, but before we can show the proof, let's review some key concepts which we will use later on in our two-column proof. Number 1, let's recall the definition of similar triangles. Again, two triangles are similar if we can prove that all three pairs of corresponding angles are congruent, and at the same time, the three pairs of corresponding sides are proportional. But in supplement to this, we can also use the 4 similarity theorems that were discussed previously. So those are your AAA, AA, SAS, and SSS. Number 2, let's recall your BPT or the basic proportionality theorem. So if you have a given triangle and a line or segment intersects any two sides of this triangle, suppose let's draw a segment or line right here, and that line intersects your two sides of the triangle, and this line is also parallel to the third side, then there is a proportion to the different segments cut off by our line. So, ibig sabihin, if this is the segment A, this is segment B, and this is segment C, and this is segment D. So, the proportion that applies by BPT is A over B should be equal to C over D. And similarly, if we get the converse of the BPT, so if a line intersects two sides of a triangle and cuts off the segments proportional to the two sides, so ibig sabihin, if we solved for this one, then we can say that the line is parallel to the third side. And lastly, let's recall yung sinasabi sa SAS, similarity theorem. So if you have a correspondence between two triangles, let's say triangle A, B, and C, triangle X, Y, and Z. So if we can get the proportion of two pairs of corresponding sides, let's say AB over XY is equal to BC over YZ, okay, and their included angles, so this is angle B and angle Y, are congruent, Then by SAS, we can say that triangle ABC is similar to triangle XYZ. So let's begin our proof. Again, what we are proving here is number 1, DE is parallel to AC, and number 2, DE is 1/2 long ng AC. Okay, so start with statement 1. D and E are the midpoints of AB and BC respectively. So what is our reason for saying that? Of course, that is based on the given figure. And number 2, DB is 1/2 of AB and EB is 1/2 of CB. So if we look at this side right here, we have here AB, and since AD is equal or congruent to DB, because D is the midpoint, then we can say that AD is 1/2 of the total length AB. So that is the definition of a midpoint. Then for number 3, so if we rearrange this equation, so we get the ratio of AD over AB is equal to 1/2. And similarly, if we rearrange this, EB over CB is also equal to 1/2. So our reason for saying that is because of the multiplication property of equality, or commonly known as MPE. And for statement 4, DB over AB equals EB over CB. Since pareho silang 1/2, we can equate the two. Okay, so our reason for that, substitution. And for number 5, finally we can say that DE is parallel to AC. Why? So if we go back to our BPT, so particularly the converse of the BPT, no? So since napakita natin itong proportion na to, we can say that the line is parallel to the third side. So nasaan yun? So this line is parallel to the third side. Okay, so ang reason natin, converse of BPT. Okay, so we have already proven item 1. Check na tayo dyan. So let's continue so that we can prove item 2. DE is 1/2 the length of AC. So for statement 6, angle B is congruent to angle B. Obviously, that is true by reflexive property. Next one, number 7. So we have said here that triangles DBE and ABC are similar. So how do we say that? So since angle B is included angle for both triangle DBE and triangle ABC, and we have also proven that this proportion of corresponding sides are equal, then by SAS similarity, the two triangles are indeed similar. So hindi pa tayo tapos. Again, this is the statement that we want to prove. Let's continue with statement 8. So since the two triangles are similar, the proportion of all of its 3 pairs of corresponding sides should be equal. So therefore, DE of triangle DBE over AC of triangle ABC is equal to the ratio of DB over AB. Okay, so ano yung ginamit nating reasoning dito? So that is the definition of similar triangles. Okay? And then dE over AC becomes 1/2. Why 1/2? So if we go back to our statement number 3, we have already stated that dB over AB is equal to 1/2 because of the previous statement, which is the definition of midpoint. So here we just used substitution. So coming from statement 2 and 3. Okay? And lastly, so manipulating this equation, so cross multiply, we get dE is equal to 1/2 of AC. So if we just manipulated our equation, so our reasoning should be the multiplication property of equality. So we have now proven the second statement, which is dE is 1/2 of AC. So this is the end of our topic for the midline theorem.